Hello and welcome to some more TFT. Hope you all are doing well and prepared for our next match. Today we're going to be focusing on just playing what the game gives us and trying to get the best placement possible. I've been playing a lot of matches lately where I'm doing fun and goofy stuff, but with the PBE coming out in a couple of days, I'd figure I'd go ahead and try and, focus up and try hard and let you guys know everything I know about the game so far. So we have Void here. Void is actually pretty good. However, you need to be aware that getting to 10 is quite difficult to do. So be aware that if you're going to get Void, you need to get to 10 to have that late game try be in your favor. Ooh, we have a Leona. Okay. Leona is fantastic. Leona is a great early game tank. She also transitions well into a Diana composition, which is a Targon. So we're probably going to be playing her on our front line and probably not removing her for much unless we don't have anything that kind of shows up later on. Ooh. Do have a Piltover long shot. Let's go ahead and grab our Kiana. Ixtel is always solid, but you do need a Emilio for that to show up, so I'll grab these two just in case. We're gonna grab that, and we'll grab our Bruiser. I like to have Bruiser in the early game. With Shin in particular. Shin gives you a shield, so he kind of makes it a lot easier for you to build tank comps and then build DPS behind it. And then, of course, your tanks, without items, usually have a hard time proccing their ultimates, but if you give them a shield, like you get from Shin, typically you can pull that off without having to commit to any items, which feels kind of nice. We do have an early Slayer here. We'll go ahead and pick that up.
For a road home.
But probably not going to build into a Yasuo. I find Ionia in general to be kind of lackluster. Ionia and Demacia. Demacia I feel like I need to have an augment for it to work. But Slayer in particular I struggle with, mostly because of itemization. I wouldn't say it's because Ionia is kind of flat in its own, but it can be kind of hard to build. Ooh, speaking of Ionia, we do find an Ahri. Ahri is a fantastic early game pick. Let me grab this Demacia real quick, because we actually might get Demacia in front of us. Thorn-plated armor, Bramble vest, bodyguard training. Allies gain 10 armor and magic resist, increased by 3 per level. Makeshift armor, allies with items. This is actually a pretty good talent to have. Let's roll these two. Calculated loss, helpful for mitigating your L's and trying to get the top 4. Silco's Revenge. Zonics explode into Shimmer on death, dealing 45% of their max health to nearby enemies. Gain a Blitzcrank, an Echo, and a Vi. Ooh! That could be interesting. You know what? Let's go ahead and do our makeshift armor. Just because I don't want to commit down our tribe right now, right? Okay, so we have our Ahri. Let's go ahead and put her on the field. She's probably going to be our carry here. Would like to have another Bruiser available to us, but we didn't quite get it. Let's go ahead and sell all these. We want to try and hit our best income possible. And since we have our carry, we have Ahri. We don't have to worry about other carries. I'll hold on to her just in case. If I load another Demacia up, I might be able to transition to them, but I don't think I want to do that quite yet. And here you're kind of getting the power of like what's going on. This opponent has gone Yordles and put down a couple of items, but because I have 3s, they're just straight up better stats, right? Better casting ability, good stuns, run them down pretty well, so we like that. We're going to sell this J4 to get over 10, so now we get +1 interest, and we're getting our economy rolling, right? Also, don't forget that we had armor on everyone that is currently not tanked up, so, don't sleep on that. Okay, Demacia, Raylord. Demacia keeps showing up there. That's a Xin Zhao Erling. Quick Starter, Vanquisher. Got our Targon. I think in general what I'm looking for right now is a Bruiser of some sort. But we might as well go ahead and commit to Arcanist at the moment. This will give us an AP proc for our Ahri. And we still have the Gunblade, which is going to be good on her later on. But I'm also, like, not trying to win, right? I want to be, like, around here-ish in the early game when I don't have an idea of what I want to build out. Especially if I want to ensure that I'm getting a little bit more on my carries, right? Like, if I want to go for a Rage Blade, I want to find a bow. I might want to grab some mana stuff if I want to go for Arcanist. We're kind of figuring out as we go right now, and I'm kind of leaving those options open. Because Jen being a level 2, doing some decent damage, but Ahri continues to do well. 1,400 damage in the early game. Not too shabby. She's carrying me so well, I might want to commit to her. We will see, though. Juggernaut and Warden. Great early game tank coming in. Let's pick that up. Put that on the field. And I think what I'm going to do is sell this fella get off of them, and then if I win this matchup too, I'm going to sell this Lulu and get to 20 gold. So for Arcanist, there are a couple of things that can be pretty good for us. Our main tank is going to be Swain. We would have to find him. And since we have a Juggernaut, that would already allow us to transition pretty well. We still have the Diana option as well, which is going to be on your Targon. You need to get a 2-star Leona for that to occur. But we pretty much want to find our next augment with what we currently have before we decide. Right now I'm just playing, like, just good characters. Man, this early game armor is so much better than I thought it was. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've gotten this armor in the early game. I usually get around the second and third augment, but you can just see like how tanky my units are. Like, these are items. They should be destroying me. I'm still holding on. It looks like we're gonna lose, which is fine by me. I've been looking for an aim, but he's not gonna do too much damage to me. He's got a 3-star and a 2-star. It's 5 damage. So we take 4 damage and we're still in second place. So, not the greatest spot. For an RE, or if I want to go into any Arcanist, I've usually been running Jack Shows, which requires a Negatron and a tier. Let's see if we get that picked up. Tier is still up. Negatron is no longer up. Okay, let's try and get that tier. Damn, he yoinked it from me. Okay, we'll grab a Giant's Belt then. We want to try and make sure our front line is nice and strong if we don't have any carries identified yet. Speaking of front line, oh my gosh, another Juggernaut with our Nautilus. We're actually going to go ahead and get rid of Yasuo and then get Juggernaut. It's looking like we might be heading towards the Juggernaut route for tanks. There's Juggernaut, there's Warden, and there is Defender. Speaking of, we found another Targon. Do I want to commit to you? Yes, I do. Let's put you on the field. We're going to go here because we're at 19, and if we win, we get to hit 20. And I'm feeling pretty strong at the moment. Morellos can be a good item if you're trying to just sustain. What you're looking for is multiple hits on multiple people, so let's go ahead and put that on Ari for now. We'll let Hair carry. And the sword is starting to become a Bloodthirster candidate, so it might be one of our frontliners that are melees. Well, let's go ahead and commit to this whole winning style right now. We just took out the person that was in first place. He took a decent hit. 7, it looks like. Wow. Kind of cooking through him. And we have our 20 gold here. So, what I was talking about was Juggernaut, Defender, and Warden. Warden is actually kind of hard to pull off. You have a couple of locks that are in them. Like, you need a Viego level 2 to get this, plus Thresh, but they can feel really, really helpful if you have a back line that can kind of, like, cook with them, right? Speaking of Targon, we're starting to hit Targon pretty hard. And I might consider going fully into that due to us having our Leona and Diana, and then it will naturally help us out with Arcanists, because Arcanists are pretty helpful. They give you ability power for your team, and then Arcanists get a little bit more. So let's go ahead and pick up this guy. And we will consider getting multiple Targons. If we go into that, we'll be looking to get into an Orion Soul. Orion Soul needs 5 unique Targons on the field. And if we do that, we can start building him up quite quickly. So, let's see what happens. We need to get a 2-star Leona first, so we have to get to at least 7 for that to occur. So we have 3 of the 4 Targons. Our next one will be Diana, and then we'll have to find Tarek, who's at level 8. Bruiser, Gunslinger. These are all solid choices if you want to go Zon. Which would have been funny if I knew where I was going to find those. I would have gone Zon, but typically it's kind of hard to find some of the characters that you're looking for when you get a starter trait, I swear. And I hate being locked into it. I don't know, man. It's the contrarian in me. Okay, we're at $32. Ideally, you want to be around like 40 gold around here. So you're getting into the 50 mark after your PvE phase, so I'm about $8 off. But I have some very valuable units on the field, so that makes sense. I've been spending money building this comp as we go. Okay, we have a Negatron, so now we have a Bloodthirster. Bloodthirster might be pretty huge for Diana in particular. If we get her, keep her alive on the front line. Not an immediate need. Like, I'm not saying get Bloodthirster, but that's like a candidate. Like, I'm thinking about, like, where would my items go, right? Whereas I'm looking at Soul. If Soul becomes our main carry, I need to find mana regeneration, things like that. And right now with Morellos, it gives you 1 mana regen, but it's not amazing. Attack and abilities deal 1 burn and then wound to enemies for 10 seconds. Deals a percent of the target's max health as true damage every second, and then of course reduces healing. So pretty helpful if you're like playing against healing compositions. Let's go ahead and grab these. That's going to be our Briar. We're not committed to Briar, but getting her to level 2 is not going to hurt, because remember, we have a bunch of 3s, and typically, if you're trying to upgrade units, your best chance at doing it for blues is around 7, which we're at 5, right? So I might as well take what's being given to me, even if that comes at the cost of me having a little bit less income. Kind of okay with it. Okay, already getting some decent damage out. We're about to find our argument. So for here, because I'm looking like I'm going to be going into mana regen, I'm looking for things that give my front line tankiness, more armor and whatnot, or I'm looking for mana regeneration items. That can come in the form of artifacts or other things as well. Air Axiom doesn't really help me out too much. I'm not going for attack speed. Whenever you start up a champion that you feel to last combat, gain 2 free shop rerolls, gain 2 gold. Oh, that's interesting. Healing orbs. When an enemy dies, the nearest ally is healed for 220. Let's pass on that. Every 7 damage you deal, it gives you 2 gold. I am kind of cooking right now against my enemies. Your team gains 2 armor and magic resist for each ally that starts combat in the front 2 rows. But right now I have 3. And I'm going to have 4, 5. So that would give 10 magic armor, make my front line tanky, and allow me to build up around Soul. Okay, I think I'm committing to the idea of building up Ari and Soul. Let's go for a dragon. We find another Ari, and now we're over 50 gold. 50 is the cutoff for the max interest that you can get. So we have 5, 10, 11, $12 coming in per turn, which we can use that to really push forward our choices. I think I'm going to put down a Bloodthirster here on Briar. It's not amazing, but again, she's just going to hold that until I get Diana. The only problem with doing that Bloodthirster is it did have a Negatron Cloak, which I need for some of my mana regen items. But who knows? Maybe it'll be a-okay. And it's looking like it was a good idea for me to put that Bloodthirster down, because this guy probably would have beaten us if it wasn't for the shield and his lifesteal. Briar doing her best to hold, and the longer she can hold, the more my Ari and my Zoe gets to cast. And we continue going forward, and this is where it becomes pretty important. You need to make the decision of like, okay, I'm at 4 wins. Do I want to commit for a couple more rounds? Do I want to spend the money? And the money is coming towards me. We're going to go ahead and spend that money. We're going to put another target on the field here. This is going to be Targon Aphelios. He is an AD carry. We're also going to give him our bow. But remember, we have a little more extra magnetic removers this set compared to others, so I can remove these if I need to. But I'm going to give him this because him attacking faster is going to help him out, right? And he switches into another mode that allows him to do a little bit more extra damage. A Rage Blade is like ideal on him. And right now, to be quite frank with you, like the 3 items I have don't really dictate for a type of carry yet, or what I can commit to. I'm just kind of assuming I'm going to go for Soul because I have so many targets available to me, right? We sneak to 7 and find our Leona. And we're hoping that we find her sooner than later. Ari's kind of a fill-in right now until I find my carries, and it looks like we're going to win this. We're going to sell Ari for that $3 and go up to 50 gold. Get back to that 12 metric, and we are on that win streak, so now we will be getting a little more extra income. Looking at characters in front of us, we have a Leona here, and I will need a crit glove. So Leona is definitely a candidate that if she's left to contest for later on, I would love to pick her up. She's taken immediately. From there, probably want to find some tanky options. We want to keep our front line alive, so this Giant Spell is looking pretty tasty. This Negatron's looking pretty good as well. Let's go straight for that Giant Spell. Perfect. We're giving that because Belvith will also be worth $4 versus the 3 of Draven? That's Draven, right? Draven. Yeah, it's Draven. Let's find another Zoe. Love that for us. Let's go ahead and sell our Belvith and put our extra HP actually on our Nautilus for now. The Nautilus is already a level 2, so I don't have to worry about him. If I put it on Leona, I have to find 2 more before that pops off. And again, I'm trying to win right now because I'm on a 5-game win streak. So we'll continue that trend. Gonna go ahead and start buying a couple of blues as I head up, if I feel like the money kind of fits, because I'm trying to make more blues show up in my pool. Because I need to find my Zoe, I need to find my Ari, I need to find more Nautilus, I need to find a Leona. And then, of course, we have our purple that we're looking for later on. Ooh, this comp looking pretty strong against us. Hopefully it can be held here. couple of voids on the opposing side. Ahri coming in for a poke. This main tank here in the front needs to die before he gets on the back line. If he gets on me, we're kind of screwed. And we are. So we lose our win streak. And we get taken out here. So now we're going to stop spending money and panicking too much. Let me actually grab this Juggernaut. Because who knows, I might go extra Juggernauts in the future. Just to stay alive. Okay, Arcanist here. This could be better than us going for the Juggernaut. Proc from Briar. Because this would give a little bit more firepower to Ahri.
Choose evil, get shot.
I'm not sure if I want to go this route. It does give me Defender as well. But I don't think I'm going to be forcing a Defender in the late game at all. So we're probably just going to sit on this Juggernaut and play from there. There's another benefit of Nautilus too is he has Warden, so Warden's still available. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and avoid this. Even though I like the Arcanist proc for potential extra damage for Soul later on. We're kind of vibing, right? We chillaxing. Ultimately, what it comes down to is I just need some better items, which I'm not quite getting. But we're about to go into a PvE phase, so that is about to change relatively soon. And I'm not too worried about focusing on winning. Okay. What other Juggernauts do we want for? So we want Swain potentially, and we want one more to go with that. So Cho'Gath could pop up, and then of course we could get Shyvana. We do have a Piltover Warden here, which would do well with Mr. Nautilus. Let's go ahead and grab that, and some blue that I'll need later on, but we'll bring him over here so I don't sell him. Okay, 2 more points, and it's time for PvE. I'm gonna mute real quick while I sneeze, but enjoy watching this fight. Okay, the brawl begins. We have our Rod. Some AP stuff coming in. Another Morels, potentially. Yes. Okay, got a Targon Affilio, but we already have one of those level 2. Okay. Surprisingly, we're actually getting a couple of defenders popping up. Let's grab that one. Okay, we head up into 6. We're going to go ahead and throw this guy on the field. We'll get Warden and Juggernaut, keeping our front line alive. And feeling quite healthy. In terms of front line... Oof. We're going to go ahead and build this Titan Resolve here. Put that on top of Briar. And then we're going to start rolling down. We're going to be buying blues and looking to upgrade our Targons. And then hopefully we get a Leona so we can get some items on top of her. Giant Spell on top of our Nautilus. And then we still have a Rod here. If we can find a couple of tiers, that would be great. We have an augment coming up pretty soon, so I think I'm going to start looking for some augments that allow for me to build up my damage finally. Because it is kind of rough at the moment. A clean sweep. Briar actually doing the most damage on this team. 2,000 damage, as Ahri just doesn't have any firepower at the moment. You know, she's a little bronzy, dude. She'll level up soon. There is like a mana augment that would be huge for us to find right now. And really make me feel better about where we're going towards direction. For the late game. Ooh, Arcane Victory Reinforcement. The next 4 cost champion you buy with gold is instantly upgrade to a 2-star, gain 12 gold. We could do Diana for that. Let's roll these 2. And I think I'm going to go for the reinforcement. And we'll try to buy a Diana. Is pretty much what we're looking at. So we need to find our Leona ASAP for that to occur. Let's go ahead and sell our Blitzcrank. We only need him for the Juggernaut Prot. There is 1 Leona finally showing up and 1 Ahri, which we do like to have. We keep rolling. We grab our Ductamundo. It does cost me money to do that, but at this point I am kind of okay finding triples. Wow, that's actually so funny. There we go. Now we immediately want to get her some items. So we're going to put this on top of her, and then we're also going to give her a Rod. And that will count as towards items to give me the Diana. Oh, with 3 items equipped. Shit. Take this away. And then we'll put it on her right now. Oh, this person has a Leona. That explains why they're missing. Okay, so that will give me that. And then we can sell the rest of these fellas. I see a level 2 Leona being contested, which means it's going to be hard for me to find a golden, so I might as well spend my extra money in towards getting to level 8. So we're going to go ahead and do that just now. Yeah, look at that. Oof. Nice landing. Okay. Oh, can I get a shield off? Maybe another ult, at least. One more. Keep the wins going. Big burst from Zoe. And then what we need to do is after we hit this level 8 and we get our Diana, which you see here, we can now get a level 2 Diana immediately. Let's go ahead and pick up that bad boy, and we can put her on the field. Ahri is no longer our carry anymore. We can go ahead and get rid of her. And then we want to get to level 8 as quickly as we can. Now, for Diana, let's double check her abilities. Bloodthirster is okay and recommended. Titan's Resolve is kind of whatever, but can be useful. So let's go ahead and put the Bloodthirster and Titan Resolve on her for now. And then let's go ahead and get her a Rod. We're going to go ahead and put our Morellos here, and then a Warmogs on Leona. So Leona's interesting. Whenever she uses her Call Down Beam, it will mark a few targets, and she works well with Diana, because Diana will actually die towards those targets as well with her passive if they're marked. It's pretty nice. Diana trying to hold that front line. Come on. Probably needs a little bit more firepower. Hey, get through just barely. Beautiful. So where does it say that? Passive. Ability damage from your strongest Leona and strongest Diana marks enemies as Moonlit, and you reduce their damage by 10%. So it's a great combination. Okay, so we want to get our Crit Glove, and then we also want to build up our mana. So we're looking for tiers. There's one tier right here. And I want Tarek. There's a Tarek right here. I might just straight up go for the Tarek so I can get a soul if he's available, but I am in the top 2, so there's a strong chance that I'm going to miss it. Yeah, I sure do. That's okay, though. Okay, let's go ahead and grab this tier. We can combine that with a Rod of Ages, and then we can use that to build up soul later on. So we'll probably give soul our Morellos and our Rod of Ages, and we will need some kind of item for him, but for now, this is the best that we can do. So we're toss that on the field, and then we're going to go ahead and keep continuing to move up towards level 8 as quickly as we can. We're going to sell everything that doesn't matter to us. I know I wanted to potentially get rid of this Juggernaut, but we can't quite do that because we need Swain to follow up, and then we're going to need a spot for Mr. Soul anyways, right? So our candidates are this, and then putting Tarek on the field. So we have limited numbers, right? Okay, our front line continues to try and carry. This is not the best optimization for this character, but we do what we can out here. Hopefully we can find some more tiers later on. I think using my Bloodthirster wasn't a good call earlier. Well, that's kind of what you learn, right? Okay, we cleaned that up, and now we are about to hit level 8. We should have enough money. Now, I'm going to be careful. I want to make sure I hit level 8, but I don't want to spend all my money until after PvE. PvE is a free round of interest. So if you feel like you can handle it, do so. I am going to put my Leona over here, just kind of chill. 2 points in. And then, what can I throw on the field here for a quick upgrade? Slayer. We'll put Gangplank here. Doesn't really mean much to me, but we'll put him on the field just to make sure we get another trait. And then... Wait, do I want to stick with that? That would put me under the money. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and just drop Zoe off. Put it back over 51. Zoe's not going to have items later on. She's just here to help me get soul. Just got to find our Tarek. And we're going to spend all of our money to find that Tarek. We're going to buy purples and then trade down as we go. And hopefully we can build up a golden Diana. That'd be sick. Speaking of, this Diana has been cooking. 2,200 damage already. Look at him go. I might actually take my units that are in the front line that I don't care about and throw them up here, because remember, we have our lineup, right? Your team's getting 2 armor managers for every ally that starts combat in the first 2 rows. That's pretty nice. Okay, let's grab our purples, and then we roll. We are in PvE, so I'll go down to 43, 41 without too many issues. There's another Zoe. He's probably going to get lost. And in fact, if I do want any Warns in the field, I am going to build a Warn. So, not a big deal. Okay, let's grab that. Come on, Tarek. Show up for me, bud. Long sword. Crit glove. Honestly, could be better. We'll sell these, get over 53 real quick. Okay, those are AD items. I do find a tier, which is nice to have, which I will build into a Hand of Justice. And then we do have our Sterix, which... I'm not sure who I want to put that on yet, but we'll figure it out as we go. Uh-huh. Thinking I might want to spend some money here. There's an Arcanist right there. Let's put that over here. That would be a great tank for us to have. I'm going to spend some money. I'm going to try and find this Tarek if I can. There he is! Okay, now we can sell the rest of these. Tarek is in the house. We have J4 as well. We'll sell our Zillion. We can hold on that Leona, that's fine. And then there's a Diana for us, too. Coolio! So we'll put Tarek on the field, and then this will unlock Aryan Soul. And then from there, we really gotta find some mana items for him. Because he has, like, he's all about casting, right? Ooh, wait, this is a close fight. Does he win this? It's a level 2 York. No way. Oh my god, he almost won it. But not quite there. 4-game win streak, and we're about to power up too. Loving it. And we find an Ornn. Awesome. Okay, let's put this on the field here. Tarek goes right there, and then we're going to put Ornn here, which will give us Ward and Juggernaut. Incredible rolls. So now we're just kind of scaling and going for the late game here. Let's wait one round before we play our items. I'm trying to think. I might want a Giant Slayer. Let's go ahead and commit this, make a Giant Slayer. We have our Hand of Justice. This Rod is going to be going over here to Morales, and then we're going to put it on Soul. We have 3 Magnetic Removers. We can go ahead and sell that too. And I'm trying to decide if I just want to power up my units in general or what. I'm thinking I definitely just want to just stay here at 8 and build up my Targons and let Ornn do his thing. Yeah, thinking that might be the call. Okay, so we take a loss here. Not a big deal. Was expected. Okay, dropping 1 point into this. And then we're going to buy our soul. Hey, look at the Leona. Okay. Who do we want to put on the field here? That, 5 Targon. Do we just get rid of Zoe completely? I think we just sell her, right? Kind of over her. She doesn't really give us too much. She kind of vibing. Okay, let's do that. Put that here. Let's pull these off. We want our Bloodthirster, Titan Resolve. You go here. Hand of Justice there. That'll give her a little bit more line steal, let her stay alive a little bit better. We want our Giant Spell on Leona. Oh, that's funny. A Fizz is absolutely a destroyer of my life. Okay, and Ornn is interesting because of Blacksmith. So after 4 rounds, he will create me an item or 2, which I'm hoping will help carry the game. We'll find out. Oh my gosh, look at this dancing going on. Should we get one more cast off? There we go. Come on, Diana. Come on, Diana. She's trying out here. Okay, we have our double Juggernaut. Life is good. Okay, we are down to 44 HP. So not too much trouble yet, but definitely hurting. Void Staff. I think I want more tanky items. I think I'm looking at this right here, although that orange is really juicy looking. Getting 2 orange sounds great. But I think I'm going to go ahead and take this Garen's Heart right here, which will allow for me to put a little bit more HP on top of my Leona. And then we need to make it to our Dragon. I wanted to maybe get a 3rd item for Soul, but my thought process was artifacts are coming my way soon thanks to Ornn. So maybe I wait those out and go from there. Okay, let's move our tanks over here. If we can. We want to leave this next to my 2 frontliners, because he actually drops down a passive that gives magic resist, and then he also gives a shield and grants the nearest allies some shield as well, so I want him to be able to do that, right? Okay, so Soul has a mechanic where he's creating Stardust over time. That's why that mana regen is so important. So only having 2 mana regen kind of is a bummer for me right now. Yeah, I'm pretty scared of like any melees. So my hope is that they get taken out pretty quickly. Good news is Diana's pretty decent at running the back line, although they have some big heal mechanics on their side. Oh my gosh. I might not be able to pull off this win here. Damage flying forward. There we go. Leona with the stuns. Looks like Soul finally got picked off. Leona's doing her best here, but now Diana's left to fend on herself. She does find a couple of picks before she goes down. Down to 29 HP. Eek. Okay, another Diana, another J. Swain. We have one round to go here before PvE, and we are currently on a loss streak. I'm going to go ahead and eat it for now. We do know that our artifact is about to come out from our blacksmith on the next round. And then we are desperately hoping for a better setup for later on. This Titan Resolve isn't perfect on Diana. I might be considering a roll soon. We'll see. Couple of frontliners over here. Where we at in placement right now? Okay, as long as we get top 4, it's a win. And I think we're in a position to get top 4. It's gonna come down to our items on our next major play. Ooh, that front line A through my Leona. Big dancing going on. Diana trying to eat. Soul about to cast another ability. He gets it off. Decent damage. Starts to poke a little bit. And you can kind of see like how close we are to our team just popping off. Okay, 15 damage. Let's look at Soul here and see what he's unlocked. We are top 4. Okay, so it's a win. So now from here, we're just trying to do everything we can here to stay alive. We're going to spend some money and kind of go from there. So he has created Shockwave that deals damage in a 3 hex radius. We now have an artifact coming in. It's going to be a grants immediate stuns and the holder's attack stun the target for 0.8 seconds. Huh. Interesting. What if I put that on Tarek? Total attack speed is locked at 0.5. Honestly, what if I put that on Tarek? What if? Let's give that a try. I might just go ahead and roll that, because I don't think that really helps me out too much. It's attack damage. It does give magic resist, which is nice. Hook up points here. Okay, champion duplicator. Wonderful. The level 2 Diana is massive. And we do get one completed item set. Let's grab another Leona here. Blue buff. Let's grab blue buff for Mr. Soul. Okay, that'll help out. And then we want to go to 9. I want to get someone on the front line here. Void Disruptor. Let's roll. Looking for anyone that can just go on the front line and be annoying / powerful. No one yet. I guess we can put this. Let's do this. Put over Warden, because that will give me a little bit more stats. Okay, and then all we want to do here is try and find our Swain and our dragon. If we lose, we lose. We get one dragon. We find another Diana, which is nice. Swain trying to hold. Big damage coming out, but I fear it might be a bit too late. Yeah, the Fizz able to get in the back line, and the Yordle's too strong. And we get cutscened. But that's not too shabby. If we would have maybe found a Soul there, maybe we had a chance, and then I would have had to play around the Fizz. But a top 3 isn't too shabby. I hope you guys have learned a lot today for TFT. Thank you all for hanging out, and I'll see you guys next time.